Live from Chattanooga, Tennessee, it's Nuganomics with David Tulis.
We are the station that reports all that's going on. If it's happening in the Tennessee Valley, it's going on Hot News Talk Radio. My name is David Tulis, and we cover here local economy and the free markets every day from 9 to 11. Near is better than far, small than big, and simple than complex, we argue. And in the footnotes where the fleas combat with scimitar and javelin, we also fight, and the enemy is saying the following: that corporate is better than personal, and that abstract is better than physical. But we dissent. We are dissenters, and we argue just the opposite. We're brought to you by Carter Shooting Supply and Range. There's a Tennessee handgun permit class that you can take to get your permit under state law that regulates the wearing of arms. That's the Tennessee handgun permit class at Carter Shooting Supply on Highway 58. Great deals there on weapons of all kinds, personal protection, being a responsible man. That's you, my listener. And you need to think, as I have suggested, that the Chattanooga man goes armed and prays. Those are the two things that make him useful in times of urgent, distressing crisis, where good deeds have to be done by the man who matters, and that's you. I do thank you for joining us. Also, make note of P5 for preparedness, the shop on highway where is it? It's on East Brainerd Road, and it is run by Duke and Seth, and all kind of supplies are there for you, tactical gear and other things as well at P5 Preparedness. And my name is David Tulis. We want to talk more now about the idea of passports, and there is a sort of artistic passport, if you will, a theoretical passport that is part of a program that is being put on by Gladys Pineda-Loher. She is the Director of International Community Outreach at Chattanooga State. And we're going to hear now about what the challenge is for Americans, and people who are want to be Americans. They are here because they want to work, they want to prosper along with you, my listener. They want to make their way in the free market insofar as it's free in Hamilton County and Chattanooga. Gladys, tell us about the passport program. I'm holding in front of my YouTube monitor here, Passport, which is a booklet talking about what you are doing. Tell us about it.
Yes, thank you, David, for letting me be here today. And the Passport to Latin American Challenge is a cultural exercise, if you will, a cultural learning experience where the people can come to Latin Festival, which is an event that we created at Chatt State in the Office of International Community Outreach, as a way to improve the Latin Fund, the Latino Scholarship Fund, and also the English as a second language and adult basic education for anyone that is interested. We have this program since 2001, but the Passport in particular is the cultural learning experience where anyone can participate. This is going to take place in April 30 in Highland Park Commons. We are going to have different stations from the 20 different countries, Latino American countries that are represented here. And the idea is the Passport will serve as the way to get to know your neighbor, get to know the Latino community that belongs to these 20 countries that are represented. And you will go from a station starting from Argentina, and then you will move on. And as you can see in the booklet that David is showing in the camera, we'll start Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Costa Rica, Cuba, Ecuador, España, Guatemala, Honduras, Mexico, Nicaragua, Panama, Paraguay. I can go on, but it's 20 countries.
Well, tell my listener what the viewer of our show, Gladys, is seeing. I'm holding a page here. It's got on the left-hand side a flag of Nicaragua and Panama. On the right side, Paraguay and Peru. All right, there's a circle next to each flag. What is the circle for?
Okay, this is the cultural learning experience is very similar to when you have to go to the airport and you have to show your passport. So the idea is the local community can get to know the different cultural values and the different beliefs that we have, and not everybody that is Latino is from Mexico. That's a myth that is being said around, and we want to make sure that everybody don't bulk, all of us don't put us in the same bucket. We have different values, different beliefs, and we are very hardworking people. As you say, David, when I was working with the chamber, an opportunity that I had is I went to 175 business, Hispanic, Latino business, and that show you that the Latino community is impacting positively the local economy. So it's kind of trying to bring up the fact that we are here, we are trying to do the right thing. We have our families, and we want what everybody wants: a good job, decent life, and trying to prosper, contributing to the society.
Is the passport program something aimed at, let's say, Blacks and Anglo-Saxons, or is it is something? It is a way of. It is aimed at people like me, right? I'm a Native American of a couple of generations, and it's aimed at people, convincing people like me of the place of Hispanics in Chattanooga and Hamilton County.
To be honest, this is a great opportunity of integration. To me, the key of this is if it's a bunch of Latinos just right there in Highland Park, it will not be a successful event for me, from my point of view. And my point of view is people such as you, David, that do not maybe know very well the different values, the different community. And I'm not saying that you don't, but so many people in the community at large maybe didn't have the experiences to travel abroad. And this is a good way to get immersed one day about the different cultures that we are made of. Well,
Gladys, you talk about different values. What are the values really different among Latino people and Americans? How are the values different, would you suppose?
Well, I guess when I'm talking about from the perspective of cross-cultural training, when we are talking about the different values, how we do business, how we handle transactions, how we do things, the beliefs and the value system, I guess we have so many similarities, as you said, but I think in the different cultures, for example, when you are talking with the Guatemalan culture and they are not looking to you and to your eye, and maybe you think that's something that I will not trust, but in the Guatemalan community, it is something that is expressing respect towards you. And it can be a misunderstanding because little things like that can generate a misunderstanding.
Well, that's a very important point. I had not thought about that. Well, can you tell us? Can you tell my listener who's a businessman other things of that kind that would affect his transactions with a Hispanic business partner or a B2B in a B2B relationship?
I think a very important point of this is not just for the clients, but the workforce they are hiring, or whatever it is, the relation that you have with the Latino community, or if you are even targeting the Latino community with your products or your service, you need to make your research about it, because we all are very different, even though we have so many similarities, but then understanding the reasons behind the behaviors, for example, can explain so many things that are sometimes reason of misunderstanding and miscommunication.
Can you give an example or two, Gladys, Pineda-Loher? That what you're saying is very interesting. Show me what you're talking about. Show us by example what the problems could be and how you can avoid them.
Okay, I hear when I was part of the Chamber of Commerce, one of the things that we did is how we do business with the different countries. And one of the reasons was that because it was within the community was a misunderstanding. For example, what I was just mentioning about the Guatemalan community, a person that was hiring a landscaping company was telling me, well, I was trying to talk to this person and this person was not looking to me into my eye. And it seems like then it generated not trust. The person started thinking, what is that? And I explained to them that the Guatemalan community has that issue, if you will. No, it's not an issue. It's a cultural, cultural trait.
Yeah, and the fact that a Guatemalan man may not look at the man who might hire him in the eye, that's not really a value difference. That's more of a custom, it seems. I mean, values, when you say the word values, I think of moral values like right and wrong, good and evil, do you cheat or do you not cheat, do you honor your contracts? Those are values.
Yes. Yeah, I guess I guess I didn't say the right word in that aspect because yes, there is misunderstandings or some things. For example, what people eat or not eat, but that's a different thing or different things. The passport is something that I would like to invite everyone that is out there to invite to bring your kids, to come yourself, open mind, and try to get connected with our local Latino community. We have so many things that we are bringing to the table, and just give us the chance, get to know us.
I've got a listener who's just about to have to turn off his radio. In a quick nutshell, what is the website, Gladys Pineda-Loher, that he needs to go to find out more about this, or have his wife check for?
Yes, www is latinfestivalcha.org. Latin Festival Cha, like the city, cha.org.
So if they don't remember that and they can't write it down, if they just Google Latin American Festival Chattanooga, it'll come up, do you think?
Yes, you can go either to the Chatt State website and the Latin Festival 2016, or you can have it in Facebook. We have an event. You can share it with your friends, and that will be a great way for you to help us to spread the word about this event.
Well, I mentioned, Gladys, how workers from Guatemala, according to two tradesmen I interviewed on our show, I asked about workers. They hire, they favor and they prefer Hispanic workers, and they do because workers who are here from another country, they keep their word. They're late. They're not late. They show up. They're not lounging around. They're ready to just do all that has to be done. They're apparently very faithful people. Now that I would say that would be a value that the listener who's a businessman or who is looking to hire someone to repair his roof or to make repairs on his house, those are things that are valuable. This testimony from businessmen here in Chattanooga.
Yeah, I do believe that the work ethic, and we are kind of well known for our work ethic, and I do believe that that's a value that is important to recognize when you are kind of hiring Latino community. Once you are committed with an employer or a job particularly, they do above and beyond if they are being treated as anyone that wants to be treated, if you will.
So if my listener has a contract, say with a Latin business owner to afford for $5,000 is to do some kind of services, he has an agreement with a Latin business owner for $5,000 worth of services that will take place over 2 weeks, and the end result will be X. Your suggestion is that Latin business owner, all things being equal, will perform the contract, will satisfy the arrangement, and will not try to somehow get out from having to do the whole job or cut back on materials or anything like that. He's not likely to do that, or he's no more likely to do that than an American.
Exactly.
Business partner.
Yes, I think in any race, if you will, things like that will happen. I cannot generalize, but I can tell you that the Latino community than I see here in Chattanooga is by the fact that they back in their home countries, their employment opportunities are really not as it is in here in the United States. So they appreciate the value and they really take care of their job as much as they can.
We have Gladys Pineda-Loher printed out a document that I wanted just to mention to you, my listener, and that is regarding the census from 2010. The Hispanic population in Chattanooga is estimated to be 5.5% of the total population. The non-Hispanic international residents make up another 5.9% of the total population, and the language other than English spoken at home, age 5 and up in 2011 up to 2011 is 7.7% of the people in Chattanooga. Chattanooga has about 140,000 people residents. I think the county has about 350. Well, yes. Not remembering exactly, 350,000 or so. Is that close?
That's
okay.
Close.
So it's under 10%. And the printout from Gladys from Chatt State says the growth of Hispanic and international community continues to play a vital role in the strength of the economy in Chattanooga and throughout East Tennessee. What else can you tell us about Hispanic people migrating here? Why do people come to the South? Why do they come north and then they're here in the South? What are the reasons for coming, Gladys?
Well, I think I'm going just to say my particular case. My country was not very safe. I'm originally from Colombia, South America, and my country was not safe. I was a young professional at the time that I came to United States, and I realized that I didn't want to have a family in a country that could not reassure the normal safety that you will need. And I would do believe that so many of the people that come here have very different stories, not better or worse than mine, but we all are trying to look to the same thing than any other race, to be honest.
Well, my listener, when you say not safe, my listener wants to know more about Colombia. How old were you when you were there? What did you see? What happened to you as a native of Colombia? And what pushed you over to saying, okay, I really can't stay here? Tell us about those circumstances.
Well, was not planning to talk about that, but okay, now you're saying this. Back in Colombia, I, as a young professional, our family was, I guess, victim of some kidnapping, and I lost some family members and some people, and I was upset with the government because we lost more than properties and family. Well, I'm here, so I decided I cannot stay in this country. This country could not protect my family, and I was upset with the system.
You left as a single woman, right?
Yes.
You emigrated alone?
Yes, I did. I decided I have many opportunities. I have family across the world, to be honest. But I decided to come to a country, to United States of America, because the freedom of speech. I always was fascinated when I was growing up studying about United States, and I came here just for vacations initially. But then the fact that I was trying to start and pioneering, if you will. I have family in Europe and in South America and Argentina, but I decided that United States was the place where I was wanting to be.
And you're a married woman. Tell us about your husband and your children, Gladys.
Yes, we have a blended family, a large family. We have four beautiful children. My husband is a chiropractor here in town and a great supporter of my initiatives. Happily married. Not sure.
And what is his name?
His name is Terry-Loher. He has a practice here in Hexon, Tennessee, and a great supportive husband and loving father.
Gladys Pineda-Loher is here telling us about the Latin Festival 2016. It has got several sponsors: Chatt State, Benwood Foundation, The Pulse, newspaper, TVA, EPB, Chick-fil-A. They're all funding this event Saturday. TVA, yeah, and Blue Cross Blue Shield. To make mention of all of them, that all get their little moment in the mouth. This is April 30th. It's a Saturday. It starts late Saturday morning at 11 till 3. It's at Highland Park on 2000 Union Avenue. It's free, and the goal is for you, my listener, who you have preconceptions about Hispanics. Of course, so do I, and people from the Latin world. And here you can come and meet them and see booths from various countries. There's a very large number of countries mentioned here. Gladys, I'm wondering if there are not too many. I mean, you have Spain in here. You have Colombia. Here's your native country, Argentina. Do we really have a lot of people from Argentina in Chattanooga?
We do. I have to say, last year in our first event, we spotlight, if you will, 25 countries. This year, I reduced the number because exactly what you are saying. I realized that, for example, a country as Bolivia didn't have that many representatives, so it didn't make sense. So the countries that I'm highlighting this year are 20 countries, and all the countries have some sort of representation that is significant, if you will.
Well, it still seems like a really large number. But so Argentina is one, and Brazil is another. Now, I don't think you mentioned this little booklet that is your icon for this event is a passport. I'm holding it up here for our YouTube viewer. We are, by the way, always on YouTube. My show is live. I'm David Tulis. That is my name. I'm the editor of Nuganomics.com. And the passport here has beside each flag, there's a stamp. Is there supposed to be a stamp that the booth operator is supposed to put into the booklet to show that you, the visitor of this event, have been to that booth? Is that
yes,
the
exactly. The idea is we have something, the network that is forming this is like the first thing that I did was the network, which is the cultural ambassadors and international achievers are representatives such as me, that being international are creating some positive image of the international community, and they will be sealing your passport.
You'll be stamping your passport. Well, if you go to nuganomics.com, you'll find today an essay that has a picture. Gladys is very, she gets around. I follow her on Facebook, and she visits officials, and there's a photograph of her holding the passport for this event with County Mayor Jim Coppinger. And the question I'm asking in my work at nuganomics.com is about liberty. We think we don't have enough liberty, and the reasons we don't have enough is because of the claims of the administrative state. And passports themselves, as I suggest in that essay, have their origin in the end, the oppression and suppression of people, natives and strangers in your country. And the fact that we have to have a passport to go to Mexico, and that you have to have a passport to come into this country, these are in fact novelties. Since 1911 or so, we have had controls on the border, and the free market argument would say, well, why control the border? Why not let people come in and work if they want to? Prior, just 60 years ago or so, people could come and go into Texas, the Texas border, as they will. Texas refused to cooperate for some time until finally it was coerced by the national government into closing its border and having controls on the border that now are run by the national government. So the free market theory is amazing and it's powerful, and it assails even the monopoly on force, the cartel on force, which is the national state. Well, Gladys, say something. What? Tell my listener, address the biggest misconception about immigrants, Latin immigrants here. What is his biggest misconception? Where did it come from, and how would you try to soften that misconception on the part of my listener?
I would say that there is a misconception related to we are taking the jobs from some other people. We are wanting everything for free, and I honestly believe that we are very hard workers. We are not taking the job from anybody else. We are doing jobs, and I'm saying there is the need of jobs here than people is reliable, and I think that's what we are offering. Work ethic and a discipline work ethic, and I think we're just trying to be part of the social landscape, if you will.
We are brought to you by Advantage Printing in Brainerd, near the Belfour Light on Brainerd Road, just across the way from, right next to the Food City. And Alan will take care of your in-house design needs, your digital printing, your offset printing. If you have large jobs, mailing services, and large format projects. I'm about to push the button on a homeschool newsletter that goes to hundreds of moms in the Chattanooga area. And guess what? We use Advantage for the zippiest mailing services in town. That's Advantage Printing. The number is 629-1800. Make sure you tell Alan that you're my listener here at AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio, the station that covers the Tennessee Valley. And want to make sure that you consider also being a member of Trade Bank of Chattanooga, the smarter way to barter and to improve your cash flow. This is B2B relationships, and you can, whether it's accounting services or photography, law services, you name it, all available at Trade Bank of Chattanooga. Call Jürgen Mutz, the German with the Southern twang, and he will fill you in. 877-2202. Gladys, Pineda-Loher, thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, and I hope to see everybody in Latin Festival.
The Latin Festival is April 30th. It's a Saturday, late morning to early afternoon in Highland Park. David Tulis.